Hey guys, Daniel from Tiny Rig here, and we just wrapped up this 80 series Land Cruiser build. We can't take credit for everything on there, but we're going to show you the work that we did, and we'll try to get the owner to walk you guys through the rest of it. So Alex came to us looking to do an Alu-Cab tent and awning. We ended up doing the Goose Gear for him as well, and then after talking for a bit, we took care of a full electrical setup. Now he's already got a dual battery setup, but we wanted to give him something better for his tent, and there was a lot of complexity, I guess, to tying it into the dual battery setup that he installed. So I mean, it sounds complicated, but we kind of simplified it by doing our own setup here. What we've got is full Goose Gear seat delete back here. These have an absolute ton of storage. You've got hatches on the sides, you've got hatches up top, and so you do turn your 80 series into a Miata, but you end up with almost 10 inches of depth here storage-wise. So plenty of room for gear. You know, if you are not in the mood to set up the rooftop tent, you want a stealth camp or something like that, you can do it back here. You've got a full platform for it. Up in front here, we'll focus on this Goose Gear power module. So this is a product that's currently in development. There'll be some revisions to it, but right now Alex was lucky enough to get one of the prototype versions of it. What we did was we added this stainless steel moly plate and electrical board. Behind that is a 100 amp hour deep cycle systems battery. Really interesting battery. I'm sorry, it's a 200 amp hour. Really interesting battery in terms of they're able to fit a tremendous amount of power in a pretty unique form factor. So we've got that bolted and clamped to the back of the Goose Gear. It's not going anywhere ever. And then up top, we've got a REDARC BC-DC. That's a 1250. That's actually tied into his secondary battery system that's located over here behind this trim. And Wits End makes that kit that goes behind there. So he's got that in there with dual batteries under the hood. Next, we've got a Blue Sea fuse block. That's going to allow him to quickly add on in the future to that lithium setup. We've got the fridge hardwired in there, so the fridge is never going to come loose. We've got some USB ports and 12 volt sockets right there. And you guys will be able to see the moly plate that's down below that. The idea behind the moly plate was we had this extra space, and I really like the idea of being able to plug in a 12 volt socket, USB-C, and put a bag down there with some batteries or headlamps or anything that you kind of want to recharge. But you'll put them in a moly bag, and so you'll have your wires dangling down with kind of a clean way to store all that stuff while you're driving around or you're at camp. So we just kind of try to make full use of that space, do it as stealth and clean as possible. A lot of that is done out of stainless steel. Alex is a big fan of stainless, so we kind of just played onto that. Everything bolts on. We didn't have to drill any holes. The moly plate is easy to unthread so that you can add things to it and put it back in there. And then when it's all closed up, you guys will be able to see, it's kind of stealth. I can't reach that very well right now, but we'll get a shot of that for you guys all closed up. So pretty sleeper in there. Pretty rad to be able to pull that down and kind of hide a bunch of stuff. One thing that we did have to do with this system was remove the Delta Systems like moly back wall that Alex previously had. The nice thing with the Goose Gear is it is taller, so he'll be able to put some Step 22 bags, strap some things down to the Goose Gear back there. We'll make sure to get you guys a shot of that. So I guess tying it all together back here, full Goose Gear system, electrical module, which is a future module that's not currently available through Goose Gear. We've got the icebox module from Goose Gear back there. That is similar to the camp kitchen in that you put a fridge on there and it's got a slide. However, it does not have the room for the stove underneath. So if you're not someone who needs your stove in the vehicle full time and on the slide out, that's a good option to go. It'll be a little lighter, it's a little more minimal, but still a ton of function. So we'll pop up in the back, show you guys what's going on back there. All right guys, so move to the back. On this side over here on the Goose Gear, you've got a panel that's gonna flip up, and that'll allow you actually to be able to access the Wits End stuff that's behind that. Brian from Goose Gear intentionally designed it that way. You'll also notice over here something a little unique. He's got a speaker grill, and that's one of my favorite things I think I've ever seen a customer do in their vehicle. Behind the speaker grill is a fan, and that fan cools all the electrical components and the air between compressor behind it. So super stealth way of making something look kind of factory, but adding a ton of function. Additionally, we'll flip this on. We'll see if that blows things out for you, George. But we've got a really large storage drawer, so you guys can see how much room you've got there. One thing to point out on Goose Gear is just that Brian uses the best drawer guides you can possibly buy. You know, a good way to kind of quickly figure out if someone's using good drawer guides versus something less expensive or less quality is the color of this. So you guys see this is yellow. The more inexpensive ones, if you ever like look at a fridge slide and are wondering how it's so much cheaper than something like Goose Gear, it's probably because they're not spending as much money on a slide that's going to last forever. So this one, as mentioned before, icebox. So this is going to allow you to pull your fridge all the way out. You'll be able to see we've got the fridge wire secured over there. Customer has a National Luna fridge, so we've got an Anderson connection on here for him to be able to plug that in once this gets shipped back home. So close this up. We've got the cable tied in a way that allows it to flow nicely. And this is where I was talking about being able to put some of those Step 22 bags. And then from there, you guys can see over here, we've got a REDARC inverter. And so we've got that mounted on some stainless brackets. And then we also added some USB ports here. We got USB-C, standard USB, and then a 12-volt socket here. So in that stainless mount, we've got some zip tie mounts to be able to kind of hold the wires from those USB ports, keep everything nice and tucked. Over here, we've got vents in it for cooling, but the idea behind this was to kind of help prevent any splashing, anything like that. But also, he likes the way it looks, so we went ahead and did that for him. And this is like ridiculously strong, pretty overbuilt. Shake the whole truck with it, but that'll keep it nice, keep it from rattling off-road. Make sure it holds up over time. Moving along to the tent, we have a Sunflare 144 watt solar panel that we mounted on here. It's surface mounted with Sikaflex. Over here on the side, you can see the Alu-Cab connections. That's for power and solar. And we ended up going through the roof with the Scanstrut solar gland. This customer likes it to look super, super clean, so we were able to do that. Kind of a pain, but we did it really well, and it sealed up nice, and it's going to last. We've done this on other vehicles before. One of the favorite accessories Alu-Cab's added to the tent is this bamboo drop-down table. Really cool, stores away flat, and then you can drop an iPad on it at camp if you want to watch a movie or something like that. They also came out with the adjustable backrest, which is kind of like a hospital bed, and that'll allow you to set up, work from your laptop or something like that at camp, which is pretty unique. So everything closed up nice, looks great on top of the truck. You know, typical Alu-Cab quality, and really happy with how we mounted it. We used some Alu-Cab load bars with some Sherpa feet, kind of a custom thing, and really like how it turned out. All right, guys, so that wraps it up. If you guys want to see every little detail of this truck, leave a comment. We'll see if we can get Alex to come do a detailed walkthrough of everything, because there's way too much stuff for me to cover. I don't even know everything he's done. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to keep trying to show you guys some awesome builds. And if you guys have any questions, want us to work on your vehicle, leave a comment, reach out to us through the website, give us a call. Have a good one.